When you hear V12, you probably imagine massive engines stuffed inside heavyweight supercars. But the real magic begins when that legendary power is crammed into something tiny. These engines weren't just small, they were screaming monsters, revving to insane heights and rewriting motorsport history with every lap. Today, we'll uncover 9 of the smallest production V12 engines ever built, from Ferrari's very first heartbeat to Yamaha's wild fighter jet on wheels. And stay until the very end, because the number 1 engine is so small, you won't believe it powered a Ferrari at all. By the end of this video, you'll discover 9 of the smallest V12 engines ever fitted into production cars. Engines that defined legends, broke limits, and proved that displacement doesn't equal dominance. Each one is a masterpiece. Proof that compact engineering can create cars still celebrated decades later. Gordon Murray Automotive T50 3.9-liter V12. If modern engineering has a crown jewel, it's the Gordon Murray Automotive T50. Designed by the same genius behind the McLaren F1, this hypercar hides a 3.9-liter naturally aspirated V12 built by Cosworth, a name carved into motorsport history. On paper, it looks impossible. Just 3.9 liters, yet it produces 654 horsepower and screams to an earth-shattering 12,100 RPM. It's feather-light, razor-sharp, and paired to a 6-speed manual transmission, making it the ultimate driver's machine. The T50 proves small displacement doesn't mean small performance. It means precision, efficiency, and raw connection. But before today's marvels, Italy's raging bull began its story with a compact 3.5-liter legend. Number 8. Lamborghini 350 GT 3.5-liter V12. The year was 1964, and Lamborghini unveiled its very first production car, the 350 GT. Beneath its long hood sat a 3.5-liter V12, crafted by Giotto Bizzarini, a former Ferrari engineer who poured Italian passion into every cylinder. This compact powerhouse delivered 280 horsepower, fed by 6 twin-barrel Weber carburetors with an aluminum block keeping the weight down. Smooth, refined, yet ferocious, it set the tone for everything Lamborghini would become. Without this engine, there would be no Miura, no Countach, no Aventador. This was the blueprint of a dynasty. But if Lamborghini brought elegance, Yamaha soon delivered madness, stuffing a Formula One engine straight into the street. Number 7. Yamaha OX 99-11 3.5-liter V12. In the early 90s, Yamaha shocked the world with the OX 99-11, a road car powered by a Formula One engine. At its heart was a 3.5-liter V12 pulled straight from Yamaha's F1 program, producing around 400 horsepower and screaming to an outrageous 12,000 RPM. Wrapped in carbon fiber and shaped like a fighter jet, the OX 99-11 looked less like a car and more like a science experiment on wheels. It was raw, uncompromising, and decades ahead of its time. Sadly, it never made it into mass production, but its legend still echoes across the car world. But while Yamaha went wild, Ferrari created balance with a 3.3-liter masterpiece. Number 6. Ferrari Lampredi 275 3.3-liter 512. Ferrari's early legend wasn't built on one man alone. After Colombo's refined V12, engineer Aurelio Lampredi stepped in with something bolder, the 3.3-liter Lampredi 512. This engine was designed as a more muscular, torquey alternative, and it powered icons like the Ferrari 275S and 275 F1. Its longer stroke gave it brute force and stamina, perfect for long races and brutal acceleration. Unlike Colombo's finesse-driven engines, the Lampredi proved Ferrari could flex raw muscle when it mattered. It wasn't just an engine. It was Ferrari declaring they could dominate both style and strength. And then came an even smaller Ferrari V12, just 2.3 liters. Number 5. Ferrari 195 Inter, 2.3-liter Colombo 512. Not every Ferrari 512 was built for the racetrack. Some were crafted for the open road with elegance as their weapon. The Ferrari 195 Inter, introduced in the early 1950s, carried a 2.3-liter Colombo 512 producing between 90 and 105 horsepower. It wasn't about brute force. It was about refinement. Offered as a coupe, cabriolet, or spider, the 1950 Inter proved Ferrari could build luxury machines that crossed countries with grace and style. This small V12 laid the groundwork for Ferrari's reputation as more than a race team. It was also a maker of rolling art. But across the channel, the British had their own 3.0-liter screamers. Number 4, BRMP 126 3.0-liter V12. The late 1960s were a war zone in Formula One, and the British outfit BRM brought a weapon of their own, the P126. At its heart was a 3.0-liter naturally aspirated V12, delivering between 420 and 435 horsepower. It was brutally loud, frighteningly explosive, and compact enough to keep BRM fighting against giants like Ferrari and Lotus in one of the most competitive eras the sport had ever seen. The P126 wasn't always reliable, but when it worked, it delivered speed and spectacle that turned heads across the paddock. And if BRM was brute force, the Westlake 58 was pure poetry. Number 3. Westlake 58/Eagle Mech 1 3.0-liter V12. Some engines are remembered not for how long they lasted, but for the beauty of the moment they created. The Westlake 58, designed by Harry Westlake, was one such masterpiece. A 3.0-liter V12 that produced over 400 horsepower and revved to 10,000 RPM. It powered the legendary Eagle MK1. Behind the wheel, American hero Dan Gurney claimed victory at the 1967 Belgian Grand Prix, making history as the only American to win a Formula One race in a car he built himself. Sadly, the Westlake lacked funding and reliability, fading too soon, but smaller still was Alfa Romeo's forgotten warrior. Number 2, Alfa Romeo Tipo 1260 2.5-liter V12. In the turbocharged chaos of the early 1980s, Alfa Romeo dared to fight with something different, the Tipo 1260 V12. This 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine produced a staggering 540 horsepower and revved to a blistering 11,000 RPM. Compact and screaming with Italian flair, it was a technical marvel squeezed into Alfa's narrow F1 chassis. The sound alone was unforgettable, a banshee wail that split the air apart, but brilliance came at a cost. The engine was raw, temperamental, and plagued by reliability issues, unable to match the relentless efficiency of rival turbos. And now, the smallest V12 Ferrari ever made, the one that started it all. Number 1, Ferrari 125S Colombo, 1.5-liter V12. Every empire begins with a heartbeat, and for Ferrari, it was the 125S. Launched in 1947, it carried the company's very first V12, a 1.5-liter Colombo-designed engine producing just 118 horsepower. By today's standards, it was tiny. But in its time, it was revolutionary, delivering precision, balance, and high revving excitement instead of brute force. This little V12 powered Ferrari's earliest victories on the track, proving Enzo's philosophy that racing came first. Without it, Ferrari might never have become Ferrari. Small in displacement, but colossal in legacy. The engine that started it all. From 12,000 RPM screamers to Ferrari's humble 1.5-liter heartbeat, these engines prove one thing loud and clear: size isn't everything. Most people picture massive blocks when they hear the word V12. But the truth? Some of the greatest were the smallest. Engines that looked modest on paper, yet delivered sounds, speeds, and stories that shook the automotive world. The Gordon Murray T50 showed how modern precision could shrink displacement while reaching the heavens. Lamborghini's 350 GT proved that even a new brand could make history with a compact V12. Yamaha dared to strap Formula One Fury to the street, and Ferrari? It started its entire empire with a motor smaller than many modern four-cylinders. These weren't just engines. They were legends in miniature, each one rewriting the rules of performance. And that's the moral of the story. Greatness doesn't come from size. It comes from vision, passion, and the will to push limits. Now you've seen 9 of the smallest V12 engines ever fitted in production cars. Tiny power plants that changed history. They weren't just about horsepower. They were about innovation, precision, and daring experiments that redefined what a V12 could be. If this video gave you goosebumps, make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into automotive legends. And tell us, which of these small but mighty V12s shocked you the most, and which one would you want to drive? Drop your answer in the comments. Your choice might just spark the next great debate.